It's kind of like, you know, how math can be, you know, math is math wherever you go. It's just, you know, but it's kind of a beautiful thing, you know, to think about it that way, the global.
And I've made a lot of friends in the table tennis community, and that's been a delight. You know, they're an interesting, highly intelligent group. Quirky as all get out, and I like that.
Right. And so when you're at something like the international one, do you play, you know, like if you win certain rounds, do you like match up with other people along, and how many days is it? Because I
think it'll be about 3 or 4 days of playing with a day of rest and sightseeing sandwiched in the middle. It's the first time I'll be playing this tournament. I was supposed to go to the one in 2020 in Bordeaux, but COVID had other plans for us, and it was canceled. So I'll see. But it's, you know, personally, it's just, you know, the fact that I saw this documentary, it inspired me to take up the sport. I became a competitive player, you know, got a few medals, and now I'm actually going to get the chance to play in that tournament. It just makes it all
That's beyond
nice.
Let's take another offering and then more with Carol. We're back. So, Carol.
A dream I never knew I had.
Right.
Yeah.
It emerged, an emerging dream, and you followed it. What, can you have something that you say is your favorite 4-letter word, the word play. So I want to, like, I don't want to say unwrap, but, you know, there's a level of play that you had to do as a publicist because you are. It's almost like a table tennis.
You got to keep your eye on the ball.
And you got to go back. And then you do this, and then in life, you know, it is good to play. So can you talk about how perhaps the strategies from, you know, placing people's, you know, attention on a company, a person when you're a publicist, and the delivering the serve, you know, there's some really interesting connections there. So I don't know if
it's seeing the big picture and the small picture, you know, macro and micro. So whether it's publicity, what I liked about doing publicity, what I still like is getting involved, getting sucked into it so that time flies. It's the state of flow. And when I'm playing ping pong,
it's going back.
It is, and you know, especially if you're having fun and you're playing with someone at least as good as you are, maybe better, you get into that, and all you want to do, it's like being a kid again, and you just want to play more. Ma, do I have to come back? You know, do I really have to come in for dinner now? Can we just one more game? One more game.
Street lights didn't go on yet.
Yeah.
Can I ask too, in that film, because you saw it and you now live it, it was astounding to me how vibrant, well, they're all pretty vibrant on a daily basis, but when they get at the table and the whole thing starts to go, it's like, man, they're hustling it. Man, they're shooting. You must have that experience too. Does it just like the adrenaline, like what happens? Because I'm not saying the people couldn't walk and stuff. People all the people who played had really great outlooks on life and things, but they did have things that the one man, he's like, no, I got to get out here and walk every day. I got to do these certain calisthenic things, so I don't. But when they're up there, it's like, it's almost like it's a fountain of youth. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they're standing behind the table. I mean, that's what struck me. I said, these people are hustling it. They're running. They're
You know what? It's a combination of adrenaline and joy. You know, it just...
And never giving up, I think.
Well, it fills you up and just makes you want to keep on doing it. And the joy of play. you lose track of time.
And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
That's what we're all trying to do, really. Time is finite, but if you can lose track of it and throw yourself into it.
In a create, value kind of creative, nobody's hurting anyone, do you find, are there cliques? I mean, I want to get, are there cliques in this thing? Because I know at my gym, which is just a public one, I hear the people who play pickleball. And I just hear them in the locker room talking about, oh, this one wouldn't let us play with them because we're not good enough. And people are really like real aggressive and real whatever. Do you find that there's like, are there cliques in the thing?
Ping pong is a gentler sport. Pickleball, is part of a huge trend that has, captured the nation. It's fastest growing sport, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. But ping pong, you'll always find someone who wants to play with you, generally.
It's like a more dignified, like a little, like a cordial sport, maybe. I think maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how cordial, but but it's not as, we don't have to compete as hard for tables or court time. I think pickleball is, there aren't enough courts, so people are freaking out.
But how about emotionally? Are people pretty even at those things, or do they get kind of?
Oh, some get agitated. There's no question. Some of them are, some are wound tight. Some, I've seen people throw their paddles. But that's not the norm.
No, I mean there's always few.
Especially on the senior circuit. We're just grateful to
happy to
be
play,
there. We're grateful athletes who are thrilled that we can still be part of it. So it gives you some wisdom and perspective.
And I bet it's very inspiring to younger players too, to see.
Yes, I in my daily life, I'll play at a tournament, mini tournament at Ping Pod or something, and I'll play against people who are much younger than me, and sometimes I can take a game from them or something, and I'm sure it's challenging for them also to play with someone who's older than their mom or something. But it's social and it's fun, and it's
really an enjoyable thing.
Yeah, I'm so grateful.
It's great. I want to we have just a couple minutes left. So, mentors in both, I call them both fields, but who do you consider like any mentors from PR days? And do you have mentors or, well, maybe that man who said you could do doubles and
he is my official table tennis mentor, John.
Oh wow, because I was going to say that those kind of words are like mentor kind of words.
He brought me into the AYTTO as well, and he's my mixed doubles partner. But he has enabled me to compete.
He saw what you had and made you believe you had it. I guess.
Yes.
Yeah,
And in PR, I had a few mentors, other PR people who were able to do their jobs somehow with dignity, because not all PR people are dignified.
And do you feel like, I'm sure over the years, do you feel like you've had that role in some people's lives as well in terms of mentorship? And what's that like for you?
Yeah, it's very gratifying, rewarding when someone says, maybe a younger woman says, we always looked up to you. You were there. You found your way in and made it easier for us.
You paved the way, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've very little left. What would you've sort of sought things you've wanted in life, right? You've sought your career, you sought this. What would you tell people who are looking at anything they want to do, and maybe like you had to overcome all those shakes and things in terms of table tennis? What would you say to somebody?
It's never too late to start doing something, to learn something new. Be gentle with yourself, but don't stop. Keep going forward.